Welcome back, Pokemon trainers. Professor Chaz here, and the lab coat is on back order. Now, this week we're actually going to take a bit of a change from what we usually do with the TCG video for the week. It's actually not going to be a TCG online match, using a deck that I've constructed with one of my kooky, crazy kind of strategy ideas in mind. What I decided to do is take a week hiatus off of that, and instead I'm going to present to you a live match between a couple of other players. Now, as a professor, one of the joys of what I do is to help new trainers get started on their adventures in the world of Pokemon. So I sent two such youngsters out, traveling across the land, searching far and wide, to assemble the best Pokemon TCG decks that they could. And they're actually my nephews. So I sent them off, well, I didn't send them off exactly, but we've been going to different Pokemon League events, getting some booster packs, doing some trades and everything. And they actually wanted to show off the decks that they've constructed thus far. So we're going to show a live match that we've recorded with that, and I'll do the commentary for it. And it's actually, the first deck you'll see is featuring a lot of Ancient Origins Pokemon, such as Hoopa-EX and the Destroyer King itself, Mega Tyranitar-EX. They're going to be paired, or not paired, they're going to be matched up against a deck similar to something that I've used before. I call it the Swampert Slurpuff deck. It lets you search your deck for any card. But my other nephew has powered up that version of the deck with bit of a heavier hitter in Kyogre-EX and Primal Kyogre-EX. So without further ado, let's start things off and get into the match, and we'll see how well they do. So the match is going to get underway between the Hoopa and Mega Tyranitar deck versus the Swampert Slurpuff deck, featuring, although focusing more on, Primal Kyogre-EX. So the coin flip has been determined and the starting player has been decided, and the players are both drawing 7 cards for their starting hand. And as we'll see here, on the left side of the screen, there is a pretty impressive opening hand for the Hoopa and Tyranitar side. You see they have Dangerous Energy, some Psychic, but most importantly, Tyranitar-EX, Mega Tyranitar-EX, and Hoopa-EX all in hand. So now they're going to get themselves set up with their active Pokemon, as well as the 6 prize cards. Both sides beginning with 1 basic Pokemon apiece. On the left side, they could have played the Hoopa-EX, but the best way to use Hoopa-EX is to play it from hand during one of your turns, because then you're going to activate its ability, which you'll see in just a moment. So we see a Tyranitar-EX facing off against Dedenne. So the Hoopa side takes the card for the start of the turn, and immediately is going to play Hoopa-EX, activating the Scoundrel Ring ability, which lets you search your deck for 3 Pokemon EX, excluding Hoopa-EX, and take them right into your hand. So they are selecting a Mega Gallade, a Mega Gallade EX, and Malamar-EX, and Gallade-EX. So those are the 3 EX selected thanks to the Scoundrel Ring. I really like how it represents the aspect in the Omega Ruby Alpha Sapphire games where you encounter these legendary spots with these mysterious rings where other legendary Pokemon come out of. That's all Hoopa's doing. So the basic EXs have been added to the bench, and the left side of the screen is looking pretty powerful, especially considering they're facing off against just a lone Dedenne. And its energy has been attached, and that's going to end the turn there. Can't attack just yet. Mudkip has been added to the Primal Kyogre side of the field, although we have yet to see a Primal Kyogre. And now a Dive Ball will be played, which lets the other player search their deck for any Water-type Pokemon. Let's see just what they wind up going for. I love how it's kind of like an Ultra Ball in the sense that you get to search the entire deck for any particular Pokemon, but you don't have to lose anything. The only drawback is, of course, you can only find Water Pokemon using that Dive Ball. So here we see the Primal Kyogre player is searching their hand, seeing what they have to work with. At this point, they've made a request. Can they actually choose a different Pokemon for the Dive Ball? Now, normally in an official tournament style, you wouldn't actually be able to make a change like that. But since it's more of just like a fun free play sort of thing, the Mega Tyranitar player decided, yeah, I'll let you have a chance. I think because we see how one-sided this setup currently appears to be, they wanted to make it sort of a more even match. And if the Primal Kyogre side has a better plan in mind, then we want to see that in action. So what they actually went for with the dive ball is a ancient trait Swampert, which is one of the key points in this deck to be able to let you choose any card from your deck to take every single turn. And now with an energy attached to Dedenne, they're going to use the first attack called Entrainment, which lets you search for 2 basic Pokemon from your deck and put them onto the bench, which is why they actually wanted to undo the Kyogre choice earlier, so they can use Entrainment to get Kyogre-EX into play anyway. And the additional basic that is being selected will turn out to be Swirlix. Slurpuff is the evolved form, and it works well in conjunction with the Swampert, as you might have seen in one of my earlier videos, where Swampert lets you choose any card from the deck and put it on top, and then Slurpuff lets you draw the top card, basically giving you free reign to choose any one card from your deck every single turn just to go ahead and take. So a Psychic Energy has been added to the to the Tyranitar-EX in the active spot. And what else will the player go for? I think just passing the turnover, yep. So one more energy of any color, and that Tyranitar-EX will be powered up to use its first attack. I think it's Hammer In. Does a decent 60 damage. And on the Primal Kyogre side of the field, they have taken their card for the turn. They're going to attach a Water Energy to that Kyogre-EX, getting it ready for battle when it does eventually see itself in the active spot. Of course, it has just Primal reverted to Primal Kyogre-EX. It's going to need 3 additional energy cards to be able to use its attack Tidal Storm, but with the ancient trait of Alpha Growth, they're well on their way, because you can attach a second energy if you attach an energy to a Pokemon with Alpha Growth. So we see the Tyranitar-EX does have enough to use its first attack for 60 damage, and it's going to go right ahead and do that. Poor little Dedenne is 10 HP away from getting knocked out. So Primal Kyogre side, they have drawn their card. And weighing their options to see what they can go for. A Professor's Letter will let them search their deck for 2 basic energy cards, which will be very useful in this situation, because once you draw 2 from that letter, you can attach both of them to a Pokemon that has Alpha Growth. So they're going with 2 Water Energy. If I recall correctly, that deck only has Water Energy cards in it. I don't think they run any other energy cards, because the only drawback, or the only Pokemon that doesn't need Water Energy and needs a different kind would be the Swirlix or Slurpuff, but more often than not, that's not going to see battle anyway. It's more just for the drawing ability on the bench. Fortunately, the Swampert and Primal Kyogre both require Water Energy or Colorless, and Dedenne can use both of its attacks for 1 Colorless energy. So those 2 Water Energies are going to be added to the Primal Kyogre. It is 1 energy card away from being able to Tidal Storm the opponents once it's active. And now, Dedenne, I believe, is going to use its second attack. Energy Short, I think it's called. It does 20 damage, times the number of energy cards attached to the opponent's active Pokemon. So it just did back as much damage to the Tyranitar-EX as Tyranitar-EX did to it, so it's kind of a blow-for-blow match so far. However, the Tyranitar-EX does have, I believe, 170 total HP, meaning it has a considerable ways to go before it gets knocked out, whereas Dedenne is a mere 10 HP from thinking. So now we're going to see an energy is being attached to the bench Malamar-EX, and the ability is, I believe, called Hyper Hypnosis, which says once you attach an energy to Malamar-EX, you may use this ability, and it puts the opponent's active Pokemon to sleep. So Dedenne is going to take a bit of a nap. I don't think it's going to last too long, because that Tyranitar-EX can knock it out in 1 more hit. And an Inkhead has been added to the bench on the Tyranitar-EX side as well. So another Hammer In does Hammer In Dedenne. Down it goes to the discard pile, and the first prize card has been drawn. Primal Kyogre-EX takes the active spot on the opposing side of the field. So now we're going to see some pretty good action. We've got the EXs. All they need is 1 more energy attached to be able to attack. And a new Kyogre-EX has been played to the bench and has been given the Kyogre Spirit Link. So if they do Primal Revert that one as well, it's going to be able to, it's not going to end the turn, they're going to be able to continue their turn and possibly get an attack off as well. but similar to the name of Dedene's second attack, there seems to be a bit of a shortage of energy on the Primal Kyogre side. They can't quite seem to get that powered up just yet. So back to the Tyranitar-EX side, which card has been drawn for the turn. Let's see what they have to work with. So another Darkness energy has been added, meaning it has enough power for its, I think, called Break Ground attack. The second attack of, not Mega, I keep saying Mega. The second attack of Tyranitar-EX. Okay, so we want to demonstrate to the viewers that the Pokemon does have enough energy attached. I was just commenting, make sure the energy spanned out so we can see at a glance how much energy each Pokemon has. But as you can see, it's quite evident it has enough to use its second attack, but now the turn will end because it has Mega Evolved into Mega Tyranitar-EX. The Destroyer King has arrived. So two very powerful EX Pokemon facing off against each other right now. And if Primal Kyogre cannot get an energy attached, they're in a bit of a tricky spot. For anyone that doesn't know, Mega Tyranitar-EX has an attack called Destroyer King, which does 110 damage, plus 60 more damage for every damage counter the target already has. So just to sort of slow things down a bit, the Primal Kyogre player has gone with Lysandre to bring up a different Pokemon from the bench, one that's not ready to attack yet. Because they need at least one more turn, it looks like, to try to get some more energy onto that Primal Kyogre-EX. So they've selected to bring Hoopa up. Hoopa will require 3 Psychic Energy to be able to use its attack, Hyperspace Fury. It can do 100 damage to any of the opponent's Pokemon, but it is going to require some additional... It's going to require 3 energy to do it. Now on the Mega Tyranitar side, they are attaching a Dangerous Energy, which says it can only be attached to Darkness Pokemon, and if that Pokemon is active and takes damage from an opposing Pokemon EX's attack, you get to put 2 damage counters on the attacking Pokemon EX. So it's not going to make a difference in this situation where it is on the bench. So what they're actually going to do, since the Primal Kyogre player did get to make a change earlier with what they got for the Dive Ball, they're going to allow the Mega Tyranitar / Hoopa side to take that special energy back and attach a different special energy, Mystery Energy. It can only be attached to Psychic-type Pokemon, and it reduces the retreat cost by 2, meaning Hoopa-EX now has free retreat. So we're going to swap it right back and bring that Mega Tyranitar fully powered back up to the active spot. And we're going to go with the Destroyer King, which is going to do an impressive 110 damage. Now, if they go for a second Destroyer King next turn, it's going to cause 660 plus the 110, 770 damage to that Primal Kyogre-EX. It is not going to survive that hit. The question is, did they manage to draw any energy? Nope, but they did get the Professor's Letter, which is going to allow the attachment of 2 energy cards to this Primal Kyogre thanks to the ancient trait of Alpha Growth. Indeed, 2 water energy have been selected. So we are going to get to probably see an impressive Tidal Storm attack coming from the Primal Kyogre side of the field. There we are, 2 energy have been attached, and interestingly enough, we haven't even seen the Swampert Slurpuff aspect of the Primal Kyogre deck just yet. So 150 damage is caused to the active Pokemon, 30 damage will be done to each of the opponent's benched EX Pokemon, and the drawback is 2 energy attached to Primal Kyogre have to be moved to a bench Pokemon. They have selected their Kyogre-EX because with 1 more of those Tidal Storms, they can get 2 more energy attached to it, and if they can Primal Revert that second Kyogre-EX, it's going to be fully powered for its own Tidal Storm from there on out. So we'll see an impressive amount of damage on Mega Tyranitar. We have 210 damage out of 240 max HP. It's not looking too good. It could get off the Destroyer King and knock out the Primal Kyogre at this point, gaining 2 prizes. However, if they do that, the new Kyogre-EX could take the spot, and its first attack, I think it's Water Pulse, it does 30 damage. It could knock out the Tyranitar right then and there anyway. So, they have decided to play the Pokemon Fan Club, gaining access to Darkrai-EX and 1 more basic Pokemon that they're currently searching for. The Darkrai-EX was a good selection because of its ability, it allows any Pokemon on your side of the field that have Darkness Energy attached to have a free retreat cost. And as we see, Mega Tyranitar does have 2 Darkness Energy, so it's going to be able to retreat for free, even if Darkrai is on the bench, because the ability will still activate. And for the other basic, they have selected another Tyranitar-EX. It's a very EX heavy deck, this one. So down goes the Darkrai-EX, providing free retreat for any Darkness Energy Pokemon. The question is, if they do make the swap, who should they bring to the active spot? All of the current EXs on the bench, except for Darkrai, have already 3 damage counters on them thanks to the Tidal Storm attack from the previous turn. So they've already taken some damage. Will any of them be able to survive the next Tidal Storm attack, which does do 150 to the active Pokemon? So there we see the free retreat cost, bringing back the Mega Tyranitar-EX. Now that it is Mega, I keep forgetting to say Mega. And Hoopa takes the spot. We're just going to make sure the damage counters are arranged appropriately. One of them fell off as they were moving their Pokemon around. So we still have 3 damage on the other EXs. Mega Tyranitar, 210. Pretty damaging on that side of the field. So Hoopa only has 2 energy attached to it. It's not going to be able to use Hyperspace Fury just yet. If Primal Kyogre can get 1 more energy attached to it, it's going to be able to use the Tidal Storm once again. And there's that energy card. And I believe the attack has been selected. So Tidal Storm is going to knock out that Hoopa-EX, and with 30 damage done to each benched EX, that also brings down Mega Tyranitar. It was not safe on the bench, unfortunately. 2 EXs have been defeated in a single turn, which means 4 prize cards have been drawn by the Primal Kyogre side. Certainly not a bad turn of events. And 30 more damage to the other EXs as well. Up comes the Malamar-EX. So the Tyranitar side, Hoopa side, looks like they're in a pretty tough spot right now. They have just attached a Darkness Energy, which will activate the Hyper Hypnosis, putting that Kyogre-EX, Primal Kyogre-EX to sleep. A new Tyranitar-EX, I believe that was, has been played to the bench. So they're going to activate they're going to choose the Maximar attack, which says flip a coin for each energy attached to this Pokemon, and it does 60 damage for each heads. We're using dice for the roll, and an odd number means tails, and they rolled 11 2 times, which is 2 tails, which is 0 damage done. And does the Primal Kyogre wake up? It does not. They rolled a odd number as well, 1 actually. So it stays asleep for the turn. Malamar-EX will survive, at least for this 1 turn, it looks like. And a Dive Ball has been selected to search the deck for any Water-type Pokemon. Primal Kyogre player is going to choose a Primal Kyogre, the second one we've seen, and thanks to the Spirit Link, they can evolve it right away and not end their turn. It does have 4 energy attached, so if it can take the active spot, thanks to a switch card, it's going to be able to use Tidal Storm, which will do 150 damage to the active Malamar-EX, which is enough to knock it out, taking the last 2 prizes of the game. And Primal Kyogre has defeated the Destroyer King itself, Mega Tyranitar-EX, and Hoopa. And look at all the cards I had left in the hand. So, that was the end of that match. Pretty impressive. There's the handshake of friendship, and congratulations. And it doesn't look like the handshake's going through. Nope, they're done. So a pretty impressive showing from both sides. Kind of went a little one-sided at the start of it with all the EXs on the left side, but the other player managed to pull it around, bringing the Primal Kyogre out just as they needed it to get the knockouts, and doing damage to the benched EXs is always good. That's how they managed to snag that knockout against the Mega Tyranitar, securing over half their prizes right then and there. So that was a pretty impressive match between my nephews, and I'm quite happy to see the decks that they've arranged. I'm sure over time they're going to tweak them and possibly build even stronger decks, And if you like seeing matches like this as like a bit of a switch from the Pokemon TCG Online, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you like about it and what you thought of these decks and what you could possibly do to improve these for my nephews. We'd like to get some feedback on that, and we're going to continue doing some of these matches every once in a while. But next week, I am going to get back to the TCG Online. I do have a request from a viewer by the name of Good Apples, I believe, wants to see a deck put together featuring Sceptile-EX, using the, I think Sleep Poison attack is the first one, and then Unseen Claw is the second attack. As he said in his comment, there is some really good synergy between Sceptile-EX and a number of the other Pokemon in this current set. I do have a couple ideas in mind, getting some special conditions off on the opponent, and then Sceptile-EX is doing 130 right there. So I'm going to try to focus, or try to feature a deck with the Sceptile-EX and some supporting Pokemon. And we're going to feature that next week in another TCG Online battle. Alright, I'm just going to end this off here. I want to say thank you for checking out this video this week, and I'll catch you next time.